Hello, Tar Heel Nation. Welcome back to another episode UNC Hoops Talk podcast. I'm your host, Dan DeWitt. College basketball is here. Tar Heels are back. Preseason number one. We got a game to talk about. Exciting times, but hold the excitement a little bit. If you watched and if you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing that you did. Do we have problems? Is there something wrong with the Tar Heels? We're going to talk about that today. First, I want to thank you guys for jumping in, watching, listening, however you're doing it, whether it's live here on YouTube and I'm doing it during the day, a little bit different time. So again, I always tell you this, but if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. It's just youtube.com/UNC Hoops Talk. And you hit that notification bell, you'll get a notification when we go live so you can join. Obviously, it might be a little bit harder here during the day, so we may not get as many live comments, but we have had some new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Keep sharing it with other Tar Heel fans, friends, whatever it may be, and let's grow the channel. Let's unite Tar Heel Nation, and we're going to have a good season here, despite maybe what we looked like last night. So, yeah, we didn't maybe look our best last night. We're going to talk about it. If you don't know, again, if you listen to this, you probably do. We played UNCW Wilmington last night. We ended up winning, so it's okay. Again, if you're living under a rock or something, we got the 69 56 win. So 13-point win, by no means a blowout, but at the same time, again, before I preface everything, or before I say everything, I'll preface it with we got the win. We're 1-0. That's what really matters, and a lot we can learn from this. I think that's the good that kind of comes from this. Besides just seeing somebody besides ourselves in practice, and also getting in front of the live crowd, a lot more excitement last night than obviously the Johnson C. Smith exhibition game. So those things are all good that comes out of it. But do we have issues? Is there something we need to be concerned about with our Tar Heels? So yeah, we're gonna talk about that again. We got the win, um, not a blowout, but I was never worried. I had somebody kind of coming at me on Twitter of like, "You're watching a different game. We need to be worried." We're not that far ahead, and we were never really. I think we got up maybe by 20. Let's see if I can get the largest. I don't think I have. So there was three lead changes again early in the game. Started a little sluggish, especially defensively. I think we started sluggish, but then we actually played a pretty good defensive game overall. I think that's what most of the talk has been about as well. But um, I think we got up by 20. But yeah, we were kind of in that 15. It'd get up to 16, 17, 18, whatever. It'd get down to 11, 12. I don't know if probably 10. I don't think it got into single digits once we kind of got a hold of the game. But so nothing I was really too concerned about. But yeah, obviously we weren't blowing them out, and it's probably a team we should have been blowing out. So we're going to talk about that. We do have Bruce Wayne. Is that the real Bruce Wayne here? We got Batman in the house. This is how long until you think the offense will click? I think it may take us a little bit. I know, again, we have the firepower. We've talked about the depth that we have. We got, you know, four of the five Iron Five guys back. But I think it might take a little bit to get Pete Nance involved, to get the other guys, the freshmen, and even Demarcus Dunn, Styles, kind of involved in the flow to where everybody feels comfortable with their roles. And that's the other thing is we have to define roles again. Last year, you know, it took us a long time, and then Brady, obviously, we don't talk about anymore, but Garcia left, and Brady got more comfortable, and it wasn't until late in the season that it really all clicked. But now we got people. I don't think Armando's role changes a lot, but Pete Nance does change that a little bit, being able to give him a little bit of a breather. He doesn't have to. I don't. He shouldn't have to rebound as beastly as he has. Um, that kind of stuff. Obviously, Pete Nance is different. We got to find his role and just kind of how he fits exactly. I don't think Caleb and RJ's change a lot, but remember early in the season they were more interchangeable. Then it became just RJ running most of on the ball and Caleb more off the ball. They got to make sure they're comfortable doing that again. And then, like I said, getting Tremble involved, getting Nickel a few minutes, getting whoever it may be, just kind of involved in getting them to gel together as well. So I think it will take a while. How long, or yeah, how long do you think it takes till the offense clicks? I mean, hopefully we got it by the time ACC plays. I mean, that's really, and I know we got some big games before that. We play pretty much the entire Big Ten. We go out to the PK, um, I don't think it was called the PK80, but PKI or something, Field Night Invitational that we play in. We're going to play some nice teams out there. All that. We got some good teams, but uh, really what we need to worry about is making sure we are ready for ACC play when we get there. So Christian says, nice to catch you at work. Don't worry, the bosses don't care. I could watch UNC game for all they care. So I like that job. Sign me up. Sign me up for that job, Christian. But he also says Brady Mannix absent was noticeable, and yeah, I think again Pete Nance is not going to be the same. He took 3 shots, but I also, and I haven't done this yet. I don't know if I will, but go back to early in the season. How many shots was Brady Manick taking early on? I think he got obviously a lot more comfortable as we got farther in the season. So again, he didn't come out just chucking them up early in the season either. So Pete Nance, and I guess we can go there first. He's got to take more than 3 shots in a game. He was 1 for 3, 0 for 1 from 3, and he had a wide open 3 from the corner. Somebody, I forget who it was, set him up nicely in the corner. Wide open 3, missed that. But he did go 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So another guy that obviously we can keep on the floor late in game. I think we saw this a little bit offense defense with Armando, where Pete stayed in as the 5, and another guy that can knock down free throws. Only 3 rebounds from Pete. He's got to do a better job there. Yeah, 6 points. So uh, that's got to be better for sure. Um, so yeah, we got November 30th, Indiana. So Bruce Wayne asks, do you think Puff can start over Nance if he comes back? And 1, he remains healthy. 2, he's consistent from 3. Uh, I mean, yes, he can if he's that much better. But I think again, it's more. I mean, remember early in the season last year, I for one, I'll take the blame or whatever. I'll pick on myself. But I was saying we got to play get the bench developed, play the depth, and we didn't. We stuck with it, and obviously it worked because those 5 guys eventually just knew how to play so good with each other. It was hard to even take anybody out. So I think we got to give Nance some time to get comfortable in there and guys get comfortable with him. Um, and also I think it would be nice if if Puff is healthy and consistent from 3. Let's bring him off the bench for some offense, instant offense or a boost or whatever it may be. Off the bench, having that guy come in would also be nice. Uh, so 300 says we need to play Roy's game now inside out. We're built for that. I mean, I think it's just got to be balanced for sure. And the guys were saying it after the game in their post game conference or talks with the media last night is we're going to feed the big guy. We're going to feed the big guy. So I think we definitely do start there. I don't think you remember the last year we had Roy. It was when we had those 4 bigs. I don't think we have to go double big, and that's what's Pete Nance and Brady Manick were so good. Such a good fit for is spreading the floor, but also hopefully Pete will be a little bit more of an inside presence as well. So yeah, Chris says Manick's role wasn't defined early on, and that's kind of where we are. I think we got to define some roles here. I mean, his Styles only played 3 minutes in the first half. I thought we would see him more last night, whereas Tyler Nickel, I thought would maybe have a little bit harder time defensively getting on the floor. Played twice as many, 6 minutes. Not that that's a ton, but and then Demarco Dunn, everybody's talking about his defense now in that 3 guard lineup or the small lineup with either RJ, Caleb, and Seth or RJ, Seth, DeMarco. But he had 14 minutes. But I do think he's got to give us more production if he's going to keep those minutes up. We didn't have a lot of production off the bench last night. So all these roles have to be figured out. And so Christian says, agrees with Bruce. I'd be 100% fine with Puff starting over Nance. And I don't have a problem with Puff starting off the bench. I think we just have to kind of see, again, like he said, is Puff healthy? Is he consistent from 3? And then also just give Nance some time to get comfortable as well. So 300 says, we're going to be okay. When Love gets mad, he goes off. Remember March Madness. Marcus Page had that fire as well. And yeah, Caleb and RJ both have to shoot the ball better. So Mike says, I really like our initial defense, but we need to secure it with a rebound and not foul. Yes. And again, that's what everybody's talking about is our defense looked better last night. We looked more intense, more willing to play hard defense. I think that's hopefully something that is built upon from last year. But then, yeah, we got out rebounded 37-32. Offensive rebounds, they had 16 offensive rebounds to our 7. So that's kind of where we need to definitely improve there. Um, how do you like Seth Trimble? I love him off the bench. Yeah, I mean he's gonna be a special player. I think. I think we can get him to stick around 2 years for sure because he's not going to have as many minutes this year behind Love and RJ. But it looks like he likes to play defense. He's obviously very talented athletically. I think he's going to be able to get to the hole. I think he's kind of that mix between kind of Caleb getting to the hole and then somebody that can facilitate the offense and kind of get us into our offense. I think he can do both. Um, when he becomes a primary point guard, will he push the ball enough? And obviously, can he knock down enough outside shots to keep people honest in a different year? That's going to be important. So those things. But yeah, I think he's going to be special, especially if he works like it looks like he does. He's going to be special. So let's jump into the game a little bit. I'll take a little bit of break from these comments here. Um, Led in scoring by RJ and Caleb, both 17, but like I said, didn't shoot the ball well. Caleb's 1 for 3 from 3-point line. Caleb was, did I say RJ? RJ's 1 for 3. Caleb was 1 for 4. Both shot about 60% from the field, but again, those are the only 2 3-pointers we made. 2 for 10 as a team overall. Like I said, we were out rebounded 37-32. Offensive rebounds are bad. Um, Actually, with as bad as the offensive rebound discrepancy was, they only outscored us in second chance points 14-7. So that could have been worse. But also, you think if we even that out a little bit, we don't win by that much more. I know people are kind of getting freaked out. We didn't blow them out and stuff, but a lot of credit to them. They slowed us down. They kind of mucked up the game, made it pretty physical. And again, for a first game, the pressure that they put on us, both like half court, just getting up in our grill, but also then the 3/4 court probably press that they put on us just kind of slowed us down and kind of a different look for that early in the season. So and people talk about jitters. Maybe it is. Maybe obviously, we say, well, we got Leaky who's a 5th year. Armando's, up there. Caleb and RJ played so many minutes. How can they have jitters? But I think it's just a different jitter of you feel like you got to go out and prove that you're the number one team as opposed to just going out and playing as North Carolina. They talk about, well, we take everybody's best shot as North Carolina anyway. But I do think it's different trying to prove that, hey, we are number one, we deserve it, that kind of stuff. That pressure can give you a little bit of nerves or jitters, that kind of way. So, I mean, even Coach Hubert was talking about that, just kind of the jitters that guys may have had. So, Armando, 16 points, decent there, 9 rebounds, finished stronger there. Kind of a slow start, I think. Um, I think again, he's just got to get used to. Hey, I don't have to play all these minutes. And then somebody said too, we got to be able to play without fouling. He had 4 fouls. We did some offense defense swaps. I know in the end of the first half with him and Seth, but he's got to be able to rebound, to play defense, go after offensive rebounds, all those things without fouling. So, but decent night there. Obviously, disappointing. Stinks that he didn't get that double. Get one more rebound there, but Leaky 7 points, 7 rebounds, just kind of doing what Leaky did. He actually didn't I think he played the whole first half, minus, like, the 1 minute that he came out at the end of the first half, but, I mean, he didn't kinda surprised me. He didn't play the most minutes. He had 29, Pete had 34, Caleb 34, and RJ 37, so the RJ was up there, and I was getting the sense that, Hubert kinda uses him as the glue guy, like we go as Leaky goes, but, only 29 minutes for him, which, again, only is, compared to last year, that's nothing. But like I said, Pete's got to shoot more, got to be more comfortable, but that should come with time. I thought the Tremble looked good, especially defensively. Only 4 points, um, and yeah, we only had 6 off the bench. He had 4, and Demarco had 2 in his 4. So we got almost 30 minutes there between Seth and Demarco, where we got 6 points, one rebound, and a couple blocks. But the other big thing everybody's talking about is we only had 4 assists in this entire game. I think 1 at halftime, and it was Armando that had the assist at halftime. The first time or the lowest since like 1980. So yeah, I mean, we had more blocks. We had 6 blocks and only 4 assists. We had 5 steals, only 4 assists. Yeah, something. And somebody said too. I think it was one of the players in one of the post game press conferences they did or talks they did is we went to more kind of the high ball screen as opposed to just kind of run offense because of the way they were defending them. So there can be things that go into that, but obviously that's got to improve. We got to move the ball around. I mean, this is still UNCW. We can give them credit and stuff, but it is still UNCW. We shouldn't have to change our offense opposed to how their defense is. We need to, that's what Carolina's done for so many years is we dictate what how we want the game to be played. And so I guess that's something again we have to get used to. But yeah, 300 says it exactly. It's game number one. Not worried at all. It is kind of funny. Last year, I don't remember who we played, what the outcome was, but if this was the first game last year, we're like, oh man, like Hubert's in over his head. We got a lot of work to do. Like, are we going to make the tournament or, whatever? Who knows what it would have been, but it would have been much different than now we're the number one team and it's everybody's like, we're okay, and the truth or the realistic expectations are probably somewhere in the middle there. There is some things that maybe we need to be worried about. But Coach Hubert did say in post game too, is everything that we need to do better or that we need to fix is fixable. It's not like, oh man, like we didn't shoot the ball well, but look, we don't have any shooters on this team. We do have shooters. We know Caleb can knock it down better than 1 for 4. RJ can go better than 1 for 3. I still believe that Nance can make a three, which he didn't. DeMarco had a pretty good look, missed that one. Let's see who else. Leaky had an open three. Again, say we want about Leaky, but he's got to be able to knock down a corner three every once in a while. So Tyler Nickel didn't even shoot a shot, which credit to him. We kind of talked about he's a bucket maker and stuff. He came out and played 6 minutes, didn't feel like he had to throw something up. So credit to him there. Uh, and yeah, so everything that went wrong, I think, is fixable, and we can get back into practice, look into the film room, and get better at. So I guess that's the good thing about it. Now, obviously, we turn our attention to the next game, next week's. Part of the reason why I'm doing this during the day is because I'm leaving later. I actually leave Friday. I'm hoping to be able to watch that game. Hope we're where we need to be so that I can at least watch that game. But we turn our attention to College of Charleston Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern tip. On I think I saw it was on. It'll be on like ESPN or ACC Network Extra. So pretty much again streaming, kind of like the exhibition game. We have to stream it. On GoHeels.com, it says RSN affiliate. So I don't know what that means as far as being able to watch it on TV. Probably depends where you're at, obviously. But I'm going to be out from Friday till the next Thursday. So again, I'm hoping to be able to catch these games, but won't have a podcast about them, especially individual games. And I normally probably wouldn't after this game, but wanted to obviously talk about it and lead into this next week where I'm out of town. So again, subscribe wherever you are because the schedule is sporadic of when we podcast, but would love for you to continue along the journey here. But yeah, we have College of Charleston this Friday, and then Gardner Webb is next Tuesday, the 15th, which is the same night as it's I guess what they say kind of the next start to college season. We start getting some of those big games. It's the same night as the Champions Classic, but we have an 8 p.m. Eastern tip against Gardner Webb. And that will be on the ACC network, just like last night. And then the following Sunday, the 20th, James Madison comes to Chapel Hill, and that is a noon Eastern tip. And that is ACC network as well. And then I don't know if I'll be able to podcast, probably won't be able to podcast before that James Madison game. And then we get into Thanksgiving week. We go out to the Phil Knight Invitational, play Portland on Thanksgiving Day at noon. So probably right as everybody's eating their Thanksgiving meals, we can hopefully we're going to someone's house. So I don't know if everyone's going to be able to watch it. It's on ESPN, but if you can turn it on and maybe turn the volume off, or if you're obviously in a household of all Tar Heels, be watching the game as you eat your Thanksgiving meal. But Should be able to podcast before that one. So to look back at the James Madison, the Gardner Webb, the College of Charleston games, hopefully all victories, of course, and then preview the Field Night Invitational going forward to that. So yeah, we should. I mean, College of Charleston, probably no gimme, but we do have that one this year. Remember last year we went to their place, and did we end up losing that game? I don't remember if we lost there. I think we won it, but it was kind of the first. Oh man, we struggled against them, and we weren't worried yet because it was a true road game, and nobody was playing true road games. But we got them at home, but not necessarily a pushover. So yeah, we gotta come ready, and hopefully after last night, the guys they again get into the film room, look at what they did last night, um, what they can improve and get better at, and then Gardner Webb, again, all these games at home should obviously be the advantage, should be a big advantage. Hopefully, the fans keep showing out like they did last night. Everybody talked about that last night, the energy when they came out of the tunnel and stuff like that. So, Gardner Webb, again, I don't know anything really individually about these guys, but we should win them. And I would say win them easily, but obviously, we didn't last night either. So, uh, we'll stick away from that. But yeah, we should be 4-0 going into Portland on Thanksgiving. We turn around and play right away Friday, and then get a little bit of break before that Sunday, last night of the Phil Knight Invitational. So plenty coming up, and then yeah, somebody said too, November 30th we go to Indiana, and plenty coming up. So uh, yeah, 300 says it right here. Like Roy says, get ready for one heck. I'll say one heck of a ride. So we keep this family friendly. He also says, I love Tyler. By the time it's all over, y'all will too. He definitely looks like an interesting dude. I think you're right. I think he's going to be somewhat of a fan favorite by the time he's gone. And Mike says last year in the beginning of the season we couldn't guard our own shadow. We'll be fine as long as we play defense. Shots will come eventually with better chemistry. Absolutely, and that's I guess a good way to kind of wrap it up and put a bow on this is exactly right. As long as our defense is there, and a lot of the story last night is we didn't shoot the ball well, we didn't move the ball well, all those kind of things that with time and with chemistry and as we gel are going to get better. So no, I don't think there's something wrong with us. We got some kinks to work out. Whether it's rust. Remember, we still got Jalen Washington that just got cleared for 5 VI. Once he comes back, there's going to be plenty of rust with him. Again, when you see him, hopefully we'll see kind of the raw talent he has, but we got to give him time because he hasn't really played in a couple of years, and to jump from high school to college without playing a couple of years, and the rust that he's going to have to knock off and stuff is going to be in the level as well. But um, I guess I'll end too with this: is it is interesting. We pretty much played seven guys. We had the starting five, and then we had Seth Trimble with 15 minutes, DeMarco Dunn with 14 minutes, and then it was Tyler Nichols 6 and Styles with 3. So pretty much seven guys we played. When do we start wondering, are we going to be as deep as we talked about in the preseason? And I kind of warned about this. Not to say I'm right now or anything, but something to kind of keep our eye on is especially if we have closer games here. Does Hubert feel like he can get some of those guys in to get the depth, the minutes that they maybe need to keep growing? Or are we going to keep that bench short? Or, hopefully we get beyond 5 like we did at the end of the last year, or we didn't do at the end of last year. We do need 7, 8 guys, I think, that we can count on. But early in the season, these next 3 games that we've just talked about, why can't we get 9 guys decent minutes? Why can't Styles get some more minutes? Tyler Nickel and Will Shaver didn't see the floor at all. Who else are we missing? Justin McCoy. Not the biggest fan of him, but can he get a few minutes in there? I don't even know who 9 and 10 are. Again, Jalen Washington as he comes back. Um, I think they're not missing anybody else, but yeah, getting Seth obviously more comfortable, getting DeMarco more comfortable. I think he looked good, especially defensively. I loved the athleticism, even the 3 minutes of rebound that Styles went up and got last night. Um, I think it's there. Obviously, we need to knock down shots. We need to, have good rotation. I think Styles did help I don't remember who it was, but I heard somebody talking about he helped off the corner there. They dished it to his guy in the corner, knocked down a three. So again, if we can get even those two, we can get Nickel a few more minutes, 7, 8 minutes, get Styles up there to 7, 8 minutes, and feel like we have a 8, 9 man rotation as opposed to 5, 6, 7. I think that's going to be important. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, all preseason, everybody's about we're so deep, we're deep, we're deep. And it is great to have Pete who can give Mondo those minutes on the bench if he's in foul trouble or just to get him some rest. And I think Seth Trimble is the guard that we didn't have last year to give RJ and Caleb a little bit of a break, even if it is just a little bit of a break. Give both of those guys an extra 3 to 5 minutes rest. Give Seth, 10 minutes almost right there. So it's going to be important. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, I will be back probably after the James Madison game leading into the Thanksgiving tournament, the Phil Knight Invitational. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Puff is the one that I was forgetting. Thank you, 300. Puff gets some more minutes in there. So, again, if we can get Seth and DeMarcus done, and we count Nickel and Styles kind of as one between their minutes, that's 8 guys. Puff would be 9 guys. So, yeah, we need to have about a 9-man rotation again early on. If we get to ACC and it's down to 7, 8, depending on the game and stuff like that, I think we're okay. But early in this season here, we got to get guys those minutes. So, yeah, I will be back after that James Madison game. Stay in touch again. Be subscribed, but also if you want to stay in touch between then and now, Twitter at All Tar Heel Dan is probably the best way. We got a UNC community on Twitter that is building. If you want to be a part of that, go to my Twitter homepage or profile, and there's a link right there that you can ask to join. Again, just connect with me on Twitter, tagging me or DMs, whatever it is. That's probably the most active place I am besides here on YouTube. But trying to be even more active within the community of here YouTube, making posts and polls and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Keep spreading the podcast. Keep listening. I appreciate it so much. And for those of you that got this far, if you'd like to give back to the podcast, there is a Patreon as well. Patreon.com/UNC Hoops Talk. Give a buck or two, and it all goes back into the hosting and improving this show. But again, I just appreciate the sport of listening and sharing the podcast. So yeah, that's what I got. We're going to end it there. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Until then, go Heels.